Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 6, 2024 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you guys so very much. You are absolutely amazing. So, let's see what the cards have to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. So we are crowned here with the Three of Wands. I love that. I love that we are seeing new opportunities coming our way. And that's what's crowning this time, because this is a time, this new moon in Gemini, we're in Gemini time period, is very much a time of the mind, of looking at things, of understanding, like trying to puzzle things out. And we're going to see that as we're puzzling things out, because our mind is so brilliant during this time, is that we're going to see new opportunities coming forward. And it's like, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And oh, what about this? So just know that we have that tenacity to us. We then have the Knight of Swords, and that is, again, absolutely brilliant. Again, playing in with the Gemini time frame for us and this Gemini new moon. This moon is going to see us really being a warrior, saying, I'm moving forward. I'm going after what it is that I desire and where it is that I want to be. I'm taking the reins. I know my voice. I know a lot more than I ever thought I did. Now, we do have to be mindful with the Five of Pentacles, because the Five of Pentacles is a tricky card. And, we have such great things coming up in just the two cards that have come forward, that crown us, that are leading us during this time. And then the Five of Pentacles comes in to try and trip us up and say, hey, listen, Aries, don't you know it's going to be hard? Like, don't you know you don't get to have nice things? And don't you know that, the poverty mentality is real, or that you struggled and you saw your family struggle, you saw a struggle, you know what that is. What makes you think that that doesn't get to be your reality forever and ever and ever? So just know that that ickiness can come forward. And it's interesting because we have the King of Swords here. So we can feel a little bit uneven in the ground that we're standing on, Aries, because the King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, we're in a Gemini new moon, we're in a Gemini time frame with the King of Swords reversed, and swords, of course, represent Gemini. We don't feel like we're the master of this domain. We can have a lot of questions. We are definitely going to be the knight. We are moving things forward and going after, but we can also be way too rigid with ourselves. We can overthink, we can overanalyze. It's like, once I have everything perfectly figured out, then I can move forward. And it's never going to get to that point where everything is perfect. So just be mindful about this. With the Five of Cups, we have the repeat of the number five. Five is a freedom number. We have the Five of Pentacles, which makes us doubt ourselves and, feel overwhelmed. The Five of Cups is moving forward. It's going after what we desire and what we want. It's changing our mind and changing our whole entire life. And we're having a bit of difficulty with that. One, because we don't feel like the master of our situation, the master of our dreams and our outcomes, but also because we're looking at what didn't go right. Instead of saying, okay, I'm learning, or okay, I'm building, or you know what, I'm moving things forward, we're really beating ourselves up. And this can be a time where we get locked in our own head, where we have to be very, very mindful during this time, astrologically speaking and personally speaking, not to have ourselves be so thinking that our hearts become cold, and we'll look at any mistake and really just rip ourselves up over it. So just be mindful about this. We then have the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you have Earth sign energy in your chart, if you're born on the cusp with Taurus, this comes through very powerfully. And, it it makes us question ourselves. It makes us look at things and say, I don't want to be a student. I don't want to be a student of my finances. I don't want to be a student of the way to build and to move forward and to embrace my prosperity. I want what I want now. So just be mindful about this, because we're going to have a lot of lessons coming forward. And we're also going to be facing a lot of things that held us back from when we were children, that held us back financially or prosperity, or, with money, or what we value as much as money. So being aware of this is important. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. We're working together with others. We're really going to be very much a team player during this time, which is fantastic. And we're going to see ourselves building, gaining an understanding, looking at what we want from our lives, how we want to move forward, and finding new and magnificent ways to go after it, to achieve it, and to really set ourselves up. The repeat of the number three is a very lucky number, and it is a divine number. So here, that energy comes forward with blessings and prosperity and beauty. And there's this real sense of like, oh, I can do this. So even though we have all these other things where you can be thinking, Dane, right? I'm saying, oh, I can do this. And you're like, Dane, what the heck? There's challenges. There are always going to be challenges in life. The tarot just gives us a bit of a heads up in a new moon time. There we go. I can say that. In a new moon time, we're setting our intentions, not just for the next, 15 days until the full moon. We are setting our intention from the new moon in Gemini to 6 months later with the full moon in Gemini. So this is going to be kind of the intention we set for how are we going to really embrace 2024, right? The last half, which sounds ridiculous to say, but is true, the last half of 2024, because we're going to see what we set our intention to now come into fruition, in December. So this is an intense time. It is a powerful time. So being aware of this is going to be super, super, super important for us. Okay, so let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of. Not mindful of. Let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a flower in the comment. Actually, put a rose for June. The flower of June is a rose. So put a rose in the comment box below. Those are my favorite flowers too. And yeah, good luck if you want to win a free reading. If you don't, if you would like to purchase a private reading, private personalized meditation, or healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And this is Soulful Reverse. We are not remembering to fill our soul. We are, moving and shaking and going and doing. And Geminis love that. Geminis love flitting, going from one thing to another to another. This is going to be a really important time for us, Aries, as the warrior, as the warrior, as the intensity of us moves us forward, to really stand in our power, to stand in ourselves, and to see us move forward in intensity and in power, and to fill our soul, to make sure that we're taking time for ourselves and saying, this is what I love, and this is what makes me feel good. It doesn't matter if anybody gets it. It doesn't matter if anybody understands it. I do. And that is going to be a very powerful thing. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Here we have spiritual awakening reverse. We are going through, as a collective, as a race of people, right? As the human race, we are going through an awakening. We are seeing that it's intense, it's powerful, it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, and everything in between. And with awakening reverse, Aries, we're questioning, can I move forward in my awakening? There's a blockage in our crown chakra. Do I really want to see? Do I really want to connect? And we can make the choice to say, no, you know what? I'm good. Thank you very much. But I'm perfectly happy with there being a blockage in my crown chakra and not going through the intensity of the spiritual awakening. I'm good with that. We can say that. It depends on where we are in our journey, but we can say that and absolutely mean it. But we can also here say, no, I'm going to work on the blockage in my crown chakra. I'm going to visualize myself physically placing a crown on my head, embracing my prosperity, my blessings, my abundance, and my power of me, because I'm owning my world and I'm owning myself. And that is going to be a very powerful step, especially since we are represented by the Emperor in the major arcana. So when we take that step and we say, nope, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this fiercely and powerfully, I'll fall and I'll fail, I'll win and I'll succeed, and everything in between, but I'm doing this, all of a sudden we can awaken to power and understanding and insight we never thought we could have. So the energy to be mindful of during this time, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Okay, so we have two. We have the Seven of Swords and we have the High Priestess. Okay, we need to be mindful of thinking somebody has all the answers and they are just stumbling along. Actually, it's worse than they're just stumbling along like the rest of us. They're actively lying. They're like, nope, I have all the answers. Just do it just like this, and they know they don't. So just be mindful about this during this time. It can be somebody in our lives who really wants us to think, oh, okay, I have it all figured out. You should be super jealous of me. Actually, this person is going to fill up their energy self by making other people feel bad about themselves. I have it all figured out. So obviously you have to feel bad about yourself because you don't. You're still stumbling, or you're open and you're honest. So just be mindful about this. You're going to see a chink in their armor during this time. and something that makes you think, oh, they're not perfect. Once you see that, like you can't unsee it. Are you going to want to unsee it? No, this could be somebody you put up on a pedestal and said, well, there's perfection, right? It's right there. I can obtain it. So just be mindful about this during this time. With the Seven of Swords, be mindful of lies and deceit. The High Priestess, be mindful of people manipulating things in order to say, well, I have the answers. I know what it is that I desire, what it is that I want, and you should want the same exact thing. You don't have to want the same exact thing. Some people want to live in a quiet cottage, surrounded by gardens, and some people want to live in the middle of a bustling city. Everybody has their own path and their own way forward. People know what works for them, but this is to really embrace your soul and say, this is me. And once we start to do that, there's power in that here, Aries. And there's power in that knowledge in this moon, because this new moon in Gemini is really, it's really about connecting with our mind. Now, again, we can connect so much with our mind that we absolutely make our hearts a bit cold, because it has to be so calculating. It has to be so, you know, precise. And with the King of Swords reverse, that's just going to be part of our personality during this time. We can have really negative self-talk, especially if we have air sign energy in our chart. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it's going to be amplified even more. If we have Gemini in our chart, Gemini in our lives, we can have a tendency to hear the harshness of the words, even if they don't mean it to sound that way. So just being aware of this is going to be super important here. With the King of Swords reverse, just drawn to this during this time, there is something beautiful that's coming, but all we are seeing is the negativity around it, or what we didn't get done, or how we had failed in one way or another. Stop and be kind to yourself. It is time to be kind to you and to know that you matter. That is really, really important here, Aries. This new moon in Gemini, okay, is also conjunct Venus. So it brings a very loving, connective energy. And remember, in mythology, in Greek mythology, Venus and Aries were lovers, And so here, Aphrodite, right, in Greek mythology, yeah, Aphrodite and Aries were lovers. So when we have strong Aries, when we have strong Venus energy, because Venus is the Roman word for, or Roman name for Aphrodite, we are going to find that we feel very comfortable. So there's that beauty with the moon that brings with it this light, this vibrancy, this softness, this gentleness, areas that we really crave and we really desire. So embracing that is going to be really important to us, and knowing that things don't have to have the harsh edges that our world kind of, excuse me, I'm going to cough. Our world kind of wants to demand that it does have to be all like this or all like that. So just know that there's a softness coming forward during this time. Now, also in the Sabian symbolism, okay, in Sabian symbols, the moon in Gemini is shown as the head of a robust youth, okay, changing into a mature thinker. And that's going to be this time for us, this time of vitality, this time of like, oh, just go and do, saying, no, step back and think. And we're going to feel this moon as an intention time to see the robust youth stepping into thought, calculation, and determination. And that's going to be really important for us. It's also going to be really powerful for us because we have the Three of Wands here. The Three of Wands is like, hey man, think things through, calm things down, think things through, look at things all different ways, and then set sail and then move forward. Because we can get really excited during this moon. It's like, oh my gosh, ships are coming in, ships are going out, I'm getting this, it's moving. And we can move a little bit too fast, especially with the Knight of Swords here. It's in the upright position, so it comes through very positively, but we can be like, that's it, let's go, let's just expand. And that's great. Slow it down step by step. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. Now, we are represented by the Wands. The Wands are the second fastest moving knight. So the Knight of Swords energy is very powerful for us. It's very much what we are in line with, but just being mindful during this time that we want to move forward in calculation, in determination, in focus, in insight, in slowing it down, looking at things from all different angles, and not forgetting our heart, not forgetting our emotions, and then moving forward. With the Five of Pentacles, we are going to be so cautious, especially also with the King of Swords reversed. The King of Swords is like, don't make a mistake, don't F it up, don't fall down, don't do this. And because we're so worried about not making any mistake, Aries, we'll tend to make more mistakes. So we have to be mindful about that, kind of take those thoughts and say, okay, I see you, shush up. I need to move forward. With the Five of Pentacles, you've been through hard times. We can look at that and see, I'm in a cage. I'll always be in a cage. I'll never be able to move forward the way that I want to. Or a much more productive way of looking at that is like, okay, I know so much more now than I have ever known before. And now it is time to look at things and say, all right, I've been denied. I've been held back. I'm still moving forward because I'm not going to be denied and held back anymore. Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze. That's going to be a hard thing for this moon, especially when we're setting our intention. We want it to be big. We want it to be loud. We want it to be bold. We want it to show that we're moving things forward. That's great. But our intention, like you can say, I want to change my whole entire life. Break it down because this is going to be a moon. This is a new moon where you can easily break it down. You can break it down into bite-sized pieces. So then all of a sudden your success is like eating potato chips, right? It's addictive and it's fun and it's crunchy and it's like, satiating and it hits all those, flavor, whatever in your mouth, taste bud things in your mouth. And you'll see yourself being like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. That's the energy we want to tap into with this new moon in Gemini. With the Five of Cups, reversed, we get really hooked up and hung up on, I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this right. This is a failure. I'm not doing this right. This is a failure. Let yourself be a beginner. Let yourself, even if you're not a beginner, let yourself try and fail and let yourself say, it takes time. It takes time because that robust youth turning into the profound thinker, right? That transformation that we're seeing here, that transformation of this moon, it takes time and it takes mistakes and it takes greater understanding. And we're going to need to see that within ourselves. If not, we are going to get hung up on what isn't going right and we'll just stay there. And it'll be very easy for us with that number, with 5 repeating itself, to forget about the freedom of moving forward. Because even though freedom is very important to us, we're going to be a bit scared of it and to just be stuck. So just be aware of this. The Page of Pentacles reversed. We're going to be a student of our finances, a student of our prosperity, of what we value as much as money. That's going to be important. We do not want to be a student. We're kind of going to go into this a bit kicking and screaming. So do be aware of that, Aries. We're going to need to be a student of what prosperity do we want to embrace, move forward, and really, help lead us to where it is that we want to be. The Three of Pentacles, we're working really well with others. That's going to be a really great, big, powerful part of ourselves during this time, working with others, collaborating, bouncing ideas off of things, and seeing different angles and seeing different, different ways of doing it. It's not just going to be about us during this time, Aries. We're going to take a collective view, and that's going to be powerful. It's going to help us see things differently, and it's going to really help us open up the door and transform, because this moon is about transformation, and we're going to see ourselves transforming into a power we never even realized was within us. Our subconscious spirit message is love, the most powerful word in all the world, love. And taking that love and moving that at our center. Remember, during this moon, we can have the tendency to become a little bit too cold, a little bit too calculated, but keeping love at our center is going to be one of the most powerful things for us. It moves us then to our chakra energy, which is clarity. This is the third eye chakra. We're going to be seeing things more clearly, more openly, more honestly. There's going to be an intuition to us that we can completely ignore if we want to, but it's really going to serve us well, tapping into that intuition, tapping into that third eye chakra. Our energy to be mindful of is strength reversed. Aries, we can have a tendency towards this. This is the fire sign energy of Leo. Strength reverse is being a bit of a tyrant. It's being a bit of a bully. And as, the god of war, represented by the god of war, ruled by the planet of the god of war, right? Ruled by Mars, named Aries. They're just, the Roman Greek version of the same coin. We can find that force is a very natural thing for us, force and temper. And so here with strength reverse, be mindful. It's not just plowing through. It's kind of like when you're exercising or when you're doing something and you're like, oh, no pain, no gain, right? And then you wind up hurting yourself because you pushed too far. Here, it's like that. It's like, slow it down. Be kinder to yourself. You'll still get there. Maybe not as fast, but that's okay. It's not necessarily a race. It's not. So just being aware of that. This is also Leo energy, time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. So be mindful of that time frame. Be mindful of Leo energy can kind of trip us up a little bit, especially if we kind of move to the more force side of things, Aries. It moves us then to our tarot, and this is the Queen of Swords. So what's really funny is we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords here. Both of them are reversed. Whenever I have the King and the Queen from the same deck in a reading and from the same suit, it's a soulmate connection, true love connection. Okay? You can be meeting somebody, doing something that winds up becoming a soulmate thing, becomes a life calling for you during this time. It doesn't necessarily have to be another person. It can be a career that you're embracing or a path that you're walking down. You're not going to see it right now. And yet, the Knight of Swords in the upright position is going to keep you moving forward in a direction that is exciting, that is exhilarating, that is powerful, and that is like towards the power of your voice and your imagination and your understanding. But you can be too rigid with yourself during this time and miss the beautiful nuances of things. So, being mindful of that is going to be really important. All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing, oh goodness, I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Aries, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.